It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking at the Thunder, in comparison to where they were record-wise at this point last season, it seems they've taken a step backwards. They're trying to make up that ground. And tonight, get ready for some highlights. 2 lightning-quick, high-flying clubs. Kenny, when you have teams as athletic as these, how can one side carve out an advantage?
Poise. That's it. You want to be athletic, but you also want to be level-headed. You got to have a combination of the two. You got to execute your plays, and you just don't rely on your physical gifts because that could be detrimental.
And not only that, A&B, FAE.
What's that?
Avoid mistakes, be fast and efficient.
Wow. FMB.
Where did he come up with that?
FAE?
A&B, FAE.
Okay.
Avoid mistakes,
Okay.
be fast and efficient.
God, man, that's quick and fast and
It's
hurt.
going to be an exciting matchup. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
You're the first person who's ever said that.
AMB, FAE.
It's interconference time for these Thunder as they come in as the visiting team. The excitement of the NBA is on the way. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. The Magic are looking to grab one here for the home fans in Orlando before heading out again. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
And I think for the Magic, you know, this happens every year. A team outperforms expectations early. You wonder, is this just an anomaly or is this something they can sustain?
Well, it could be hard for them to keep this rolling, but the initial boost of confidence for all these players could help them weather any storms on the horizon.
And before we get going, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Frank Vogel. David, what do you have to say?
Well, guys, he told me they're up against a team that really finishes strong at the rim, and he wanted to get that point across to his players. He wants them to protect the rim with every bit of energy they've got throughout this entire contest. Let's see if they're up to it, Kevin.
Okay, David, thanks. 2 teams tonight that love to get out and run. Brent, talk about some of the keys to being effective in the transition game.
Well, one part about transition, Kevin, is the first couple steps that anybody takes to get out on the break. I mean, there is a skill to running hard in transition and then secondarily getting wide in the lane. So many coaches are yelling at their players about creating space by getting to the sidelines as quickly as possible. Those 2 things can make you pretty dynamic in the open floor.
And the Magic start out with the ball. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So for Oklahoma City right now, Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Anthony, and it's Adams in at the 5, roaming the paint. So the Orlando Magic able to put the first points up on the board. Westbrook with the bucket. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
And the dunk by Robertson.
Melo good at scanning the entire floor, and that's why that time he found the open teammate.
Gordon with a screen on Anthony. And Fournier kicks to Gordon. Inside. And there's the pass to Fournier. Gordon with the screen for Fournier. 6 on the shot clock. 13 feet away. That's short off the rim.
Yeah, the defense cannot afford to be that lazy. You got to be up on the shooters at all times, especially at the mid-range.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Here's Fournier after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. Gordon with the screen for Fournier. Vucevic lays it in without an inch of room around him.
Bucket earned, out-muscling and out-hustling everybody for the rebound.
Screen by Adams. Westbrook kicks to Adams. Back to Westbrook. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Vucevic.
It's so subtle, but what an effective up fake from Westbrook there. The defender couldn't help but take a bite.
Oklahoma City shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, he entered the league as a great free throw shooter. Westbrook now gets there a ton.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
He talks so much about rhythm from the field. How about a rhythm from the free throw line? That looks good.
Here's Payton. Inside, he gets the jumper to fall. Payton's got his first points of the night.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
And that does it for the first quarter. Oklahoma City out in front, up 5. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, you've got a huge advantage.
So for Oklahoma City right now, at small forward and power forward, it's George and Patterson. Then there's Russell Westbrook. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Abrines in at the 2 spot. Here's Azania. There's the pick. Westbrook pulls it in.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Well, it's like Thanksgiving out there, carving out space off the screen. Just couldn't complete the play.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead and in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
And that is a statement. We're going to keep coming at you hard, even if we've got the lead.
And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too. So Payton will go to the free throw line. They get Russell Westbrook.
And Elfrid Payton, the 10th pick back in that 2014 draft. And remember, the Magic looked at him as their point guard of the future. And last season, at times, he was coming off the bench. And it's been about that lack of progress as a shooter that I think is the biggest concern with this team.
That's good from Payton. And for Elfrid Payton, shooting has always been his Achilles heel.
Yeah, as a defender, passer, penetrator, I think he's solid, but shooting has become so important in our league right now. He needs that perimeter shot to really have a chance to get to the next level.
Here's Felton. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Felton's got his first points of the game.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, GA? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters.
Here's Vucevic. Drops it in from 11 feet. quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. From deep three-point range, he got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so we conclude the first half. Thunder lead by 6. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks. Coach, what's stopped you from getting what you want?
Well, they're just a great defensive team. You know, we're not handling our pressure well enough. We're trying to work it inside. They're fronting, and we got to execute our counters.
Yeah, all 5 guys have to get involved. Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. Checking out Oklahoma City. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
they were really efficient on offense, shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
Check. What'd you think about Orlando?
Well, Ernie, I'm not even a player anymore, but I'm not happy with the soft defense they have. Full of holes, allowing over 60% shooting. Ridiculous, fellas. It's amazing that they're still in this game. I think it's going to come down to how bad they want it. I even want it. Ernie, sign me on a 10-day contract right now.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
And I love the game plan in that first half. They really valued each possession.
Efficient so far with the shots that he's taken. His contributions have been fantastic.
Hey, Brent, looking at the mental aspect of the game, we usually think about crafty veterans, but who are some of the craftiest young players that you see right now?
That's a good question, Kevin. I might have a few surprise answers for you. How about Tyler Johnson, maybe? Malcolm Brogdon in Milwaukee last year, who showed some things as an older rookie playing 4 years in college at Virginia. Chris Dunn, he's got a bit of trickery to him. And the last guy I'll throw out there is Joe Ingles. Has a little spice to his game when he's got the basketball in Utah.
Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. Ross is the 3 with Gordon at the 4. And it's Vucevic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's who's out there for Orlando. Anthony with the screen on Fournier. 1:14 left to play in the third. Westbrook against Payton. 4 on the shot clock. A nice shot by George.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
The Magic trail by 10. Passes it to Fournier. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And you know what? They were giving away points, missing at the line, a big factor in the outcome.
I'm just wondering if this home crowd and the energy worked against them in this one. They might have gotten in their heads just a little bit.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still their ability to stay composed was impressive.
Well, it led to a big scoring effort, taking advantage of every weakness. So any possession the defense wasn't aggressive on, they were on the offensive end.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Biombo, he's checked in for Vucevic. Isaac comes in for Ross. And Simmons subbed in for Evan Fournier. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Patterson, he's checked in for Steven Adams. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. In the corner, it's Westbrook. The tray. That shot off. Stolen by Westbrook. Anthony on the wing, over Gordon, and Anthony with the basket on the assist by Westbrook.
Carmelo Anthony operating in the mid-range is just danger zone. You got to put your defense at DEFCON 1.
And so it's Oklahoma City. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And meanwhile, Frank Vogel talking to his team.
Shrink the floor. When you're on the ball or closing out, close out faster. Okay, take away their airspace and then contain their drive.
And that's the catch-22 there. Frank Vogel wanting better perimeter defense, but also wanting to limit forays to the hoop.
Yeah, and it takes tremendous discipline to do that. Don't leave your feet, don't reach, and everyone help each other defensively.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. And Oklahoma City, look at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. On the wings, Abrinas and George. Patrick Patterson is out there with Anthony, and it's Westbrook in at the 5. Payton outside. Pass to Biyombo. Carmelo Anthony grabs the board.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Abrinas with the bucket. Abrinas has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Oklahoma City.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Thunder.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Russell Westbrook.
Just a really solid effort on the offensive end. He was getting any shot that he wanted.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 14. 40 seconds left in the fourth. Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
This was a big game for him. There's no denying that. Coming off a bunch of losses in a row, they turned to him to break the streak, and he delivered in a big way. So for the Magic, Mario Hezonja comes in for Aaron Gordon, and Shelvin Max subbed in for Elfrid Payton. The Thunder also changing it up. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Anthony. Grant comes in for George. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. They can take their time on this possession.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just give themselves a little bit of a break.
And Patterson kicks to Felton. Patterson, the screen. Shot clock at 5. Here's Abrinas. Oklahoma City, the rebound. Pass to Grant. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.